Woohoo! Tomatoes are easily the most popular crop in our backyard gardens. Easy to grow, unlimited variations, and obviously delicious. These guys have another bonus, and that is they're one of the easiest crops to save seeds from. Spectacular. So, if you're working with heirloom varieties of tomatoes and you want to become more self-sufficient as a gardener by saving your own tomato seeds, this is the video you need to watch. Oh man, you know what's the worst? Laying down a straw mulch that wasn't supposed to have any seeds in it at all, only to have it sprout up about 2 weeks later. But you know what's the best? Having you guys that find value in the videos on this channel, hitting those like, share, and subscribe buttons. Saving your own tomato seeds is a 3-step process over the course of 2 weeks designed to mimic the end of the life cycle of the tomato fruit. Let's go ahead and deep dive into those 3 steps so you can be saving all your favorite heirloom tomato seeds for next spring. So the first step in saving your tomato seeds is collecting your tomato seeds. You always want to be collecting the seed from ripe tomatoes. When you're seed saving, to make sure that the seeds are set and viable. For cherry tomatoes versus slicer tomatoes, I collect and extract the seeds slightly different. Let's head on inside and I'll show you the 2 differences. Slicer or beefsteak tomatoes are easy. I essentially slice them in half widthwise and scoop out the seed pockets into a jar or deli cup. Just add water and move on to step 2. Cherry tomatoes can be done much the same way, but if you have hundreds to do across multiple varieties, ugh, that's a lot of work. The best way to do these guys is to just pop them into that same deli cup and then add the water. But doing that actually brings up another problem. When popping your cherry tomato seeds, they literally shoot everywhere. It makes for a horrible experience. Much worse than just neatly slicing through the few hundred you gotta do. The solution is simple. All we need to do is break the skin of the cherry tomato. Using a fork or a barbecue skewer or something else that's sharp, make a decent hole on one side of the tomato. Orient that hole into the deli cup or whatever container that you're using and squeeze. With the pressure of that tomato skin eliminated, the seeds simply pop right out of that hole and into your container, instead of all over the place. Whichever method you choose, just get those tomato seeds into a deli cup or jar of water and move on to step 2. Step 2 is all about mimicking what a ripe and rotting tomato does to its seeds inside. Ever wonder why tomato seeds simply don't sprout right off the bat? After all, they're in a warm, moist environment already, much like they are when we germinate them in the spring. A young tomato seed actually has a gelatinous sheath protecting it and preventing it from germinating early. So inside the fallen fruit, the seeds lie dormant until the fermentation of the tomato itself breaks down that gelatinous coating and removes the germination inhibitors. Only then can the tomato seed actually sprout, which is why step 2's fermentation is so important. But don't worry, it's not hard. There's only a couple things you need to do, so let's get to it. Fermentation in step 2 takes roughly 2 weeks. We accomplish this by simply letting our tomato seeds sit in the cup of water for about 10 days. Don't rinse them and don't strain out the seeds or clean the water whatsoever. Let the water go all funky and actually ferment. This is good as it's breaking down those protective coatings. Finally, after 10 to 12 days, we can rinse those seeds a few times to get all the tomato bits off. It's at this point that you want to get the seeds really clean, so a few soakings and rinsing over the course of another couple of days may be required. Once you're confident that the seeds are as clean as can be, we're now ready to set these guys up for step 3, and that's drying for storage. With tomato seed drying, low tech is best. Simply laying the seeds out flat on a sheet of paper to dry for 1 to 2 days is the best, most effective, most efficient method. I place my seeds spread out in a single layer on a sheet of paper. No special heaters or fans are required, just don't set them out in the direct hot sun. I find that the back of label paper is the best, as it's a bit shiny and not at all sticky. White computer paper is the next best, followed by newspaper. Never ever use paper towel or tissue paper. Trust me, it's next to impossible to get the seeds off that stuff. The seeds are dry when the paper is dry, usually in about 24 to 48 hours under normal indoor conditions. At this point, simply remove the seeds from the paper and store in your favorite container or envelope for up to 5 years. Saving heirloom tomato seeds is one of the most rewarding things you can do as a gardener. Being able to grow up a plant from seed all the way through its entire life cycle to the point where you can actually harvest the seeds again is the ultimate in self-sufficiency. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. If you're getting value in this and the other series that I'm doing on YouTube, hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons if you'd be so kind. And I'll see you in the next video.